All right, good afternoon. This is Coach Big Pete of DeepDishFootball.com and the Women Report. Make sure you're following Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com if you have any questions. And I'm also on Instagram too, Coach Big Pete. Let's kick off as always. New season, new conference, and this video is about the Chicago Catholic League. Make sure you check out the article because I decided not to murder anyone's last name like I do pronouncing it. I put the last names on the article, so be sure you check out deepdishfootball.com if you're just individually clicking on this YouTube video as usual. But again, please like and subscribe to YouTube, and if feel free to leave a tip if you like my work via PayPal, as it goes towards the maintenance of the website and travel fees as always. And again, quick reminder to everyone, Chicago Catholic League every Saturday at 9 a.m. is Breakfast with Coach Big Pete as we go through all the IHSA scores, news, and everything else. And Wednesday and Thursday on Deep Dish Football Live, we talk about what's going to happen in the weekend, what the important games are, what are the players to look at, and everything else. Be sure you check it out. Deep Dish Football Live and Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, the two top webcasts in Illinois talking about IHSA football. So let's get started. This is going to be really quick because the names that I put down are on the article, as you can see. So let's get started as we should. And for the blue division, again, the blue is most likely what it was last year. Loyola, again, stacked with talent, wide receivers, defensive backs, linebackers, great very young offensive line, quarterback coming to the same situation. But again, Loyola has had a great tradition of young quarterbacks coming in, knowing the system, and basically building it from there from game one. And Loyola looks great. And Loyola, I have as one of the top teams in the state of Illinois. Next, Montini, and these are not in order. Montini football, great, talented players as always. Defensive backs, wide receivers, great. Offensive line, good too. If you look at the offensive line, defensive line, good. I think there's a couple few questions with Montini football, but if they're able to pass, when you get into the third week or fourth week, and they're on a roll, watch out for Montini football. Next team, I have sort of as my surprise team, but I think a lot of people, because of all the talented players that they have, think that they're going to do good. But I think Brother Rice can really make a charge, especially into November during the playoffs. Brother Rice looks good. Colin Smith is a quarterback that you definitely want to keep an eye out for. Talented group of athletes, a good defensive line, great offensive line, Evan Kurtz. So it's definitely a team that I have on my surprise radar. Next, St. Rita. Again, St. Rita is basically one of those teams. And when I mean team, it's a structured pyramid of a team for high school football. And St. Rita's got it. Ekron, a quarterback who's a hell of an athletic guy. Montana, I think he just committed to Montana State, if I'm not mistaken. St. Rita looks good. Good offensive line and a good solid group of linebackers as well, and a nice thing at the box safety as well. St. Rita, again, another playoff challenging type of team. Providence Catholic. Providence Catholic's got some young players. Jake Renfro. I think it's Porto, if I'm not mistaken. Providence Catholic's another team to look out for. Two good group of athletes, especially at the running back position for Providence Catholic. Now we get down to the green. Mt.Carmel. Again, Frank Lenti is now gone, and Jordan Lynch has taken over as the head coach of Mt.Carmel, former Mt.Carmel star, NIU graduate as well, and he has a solid team with him, and I have them sort of the top of the pack. I think Mt.Carmel has a great team. Lenny at safety. I'm forgetting the other guy, running back. They have another good running back as well. Great offensive line in Menandola. So Mt.Carmel, it looks great. Fenwick. Fenwick, again, great young quarterback. Good linebacker. Frost, he's excellent too. Fenwick's got a great, I think it's Singleton at defensive back as well. I mean, it's a solid team. Carpenter at offensive line. Fenwick looks good too, so I think it's going to be. I have Mount Carmel a little bit of favor more, but Fenwick and Mount Carmel, it's going to be a very interesting thing to look at. Also, St. Lawrence. You got St. Lawrence. They just hired on Frank Letty as an assistant coach. St. Lawrence. I don't think it's going to be their year this year, but I think next year look out for them. But St. Lawrence, you definitely want to keep an eye. But I've also keep more of a bigger eye on De La Salle. I think De La Salle is going to be great this year. I think Coach Bayham's doing a great job, and I think the players that he has with Hawthorne, quarterback Cimentel, and they got a great group of athletes too. De La Salle looks good. De La Salle looks really, really good. So keep a very good close, especially at the defensive back spot. Marmion Academy, I think Marmion Academy is gonna. I think it's gonna be a little bit of a tough year for Marmion Academy, but then again, like I said, and I say this in all honesty, what is up is up. What is down? What is up is down. What is down is up. High school football is a parody of itself. Anything can happen, and it usually does. It's the smallest things that can affect a team, and that's why you gotta love about high school football because literally you can basically take mud, throw it against the wall, and you can guess which pile is going to hit the ground first. It's up in the air. And when we talk about this team looks good, any small thing, anything emotional, anything of course physical, anything can throw off a football team like it's nobody's business. And it's a parody, and that's why I personally like high school football. All right, we get into the red division. Chicago Hope. I have Chicago Hope as a great team. I have Chicago Hope as basically a championship challenging team. Chicago Hope looks great. Trevor Land, Le'Veon Fain, Ross, just they're unbelievable. Chicago Hope looks great this year. Team to look out for, St. Ignatius. St. Ignatius looks great. Great group of linebackers with Geo. They got a good pass rusher as well. Keep an eye out for St. Ignatius football. DePaul football, I think they're going to have a little bit of a tough year. Leo football is going to have a tough year as well. St. Joseph football, again, St. Joseph football they have a great group of underrated athletes. And they always will, and they've had it for the past years. They've got a great sophomore quarterback. They also have a great senior quarterback / athlete. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially there with the new St. Joseph having a new head coach as well. But what would be interesting to me, and I say this again, is St. Ignatius. I think they're a surprise team. Chicago Hope. I think they're just great right now. Brother Rice surprise. Loyola on top. The blue is just stacked with talented players, to be honest. And you could say, oh well, that they got a glaring problem right here, or there's a glaring weakness there. That's great, but if you look at some of these teams, and I consider this a big time thing part of the team, their defensive line coach and their offensive line coach. And if you take a look at those coaches and what they have produced with those teams, and you say, well, they're missing this guy, he graduated, and blah 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 blah. Don't worry, because the next young hog that comes up is going to be ready for that first game in the first week. So don't let it sidetrack you about this stuff. Just look at the defensive and offensive line coaches. And when you're talking about the Chicago Catholic League, you're talking about some of the best line coaches in the state of Illinois. It's simple as that. Be sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Again, my email is coachbigpete@fp@gmail.com. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Make sure to remember Wednesday, Thursday at 8 p.m., Deep Dish Football Live on Facebook Live. Saturday morning at 9 a.m. is Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, starting week 1, the Saturday after the first week of games on Friday night. Who wins the Pumpkin Spice Donut Award? Who gets the MVP of the night? All the other stuff will be decided on Saturday night. Saturday morning at 9 a.m. And if you like my work, feel free to leave a tip via PayPal as the link will be on the bottom. Thank you so much. Good luck to all the teams and all the players and all the coaches in that great group of coaches, especially in the Chicago Catholic League. And again, Chicago Catholic League, that's tradition. That's some of the strongest tradition in high school football in the country of America. So thanks again, and good luck to everyone.